Hello, Stacy. Hello, Robert. Why am I not coming on? Huh. Hold on. It's taking a long time. You can see me and hear me. All I see is no video. All right, hold on. There you go. Hoist, how you doing? Stacy, Paul, Robert, Mr. Mante. Okay. Hey, Stacy, I just read your email about turning your hands from traditional to German. I'm surprised. I don't know what that's all about with him, but if you'd like me to contact him, I will. And I'm sure there's a reason that he's done that. So it's up to you. So anyway, I got Jim, Seth, Stacy, and one more person who will be coming to the drum camp. Okay, I think that's, what was that, the last week of June? Yeah. And I'm not optimistic or anything, but you know, that's about 7 weeks from now, and by then the quarantine definitely should be over. If not, I don't know, I'm going to move to China. Ha! Can we hear me? All right, they'll come back. Anyway, Stacy, did you happen to watch the video this afternoon? This afternoon's video? So we have Hoist, Robert, Stacy, and Paul. Everybody can hear me? I don't know, before this afternoon, all of a sudden it just booted me off YouTube. I don't know why. Hi, Mr. Oldorick. Any questions on this afternoon's lesson? We were working with flams, flam paradiddles. Okay, can you see me? That's important too. There's no echo, correct? Okay, everybody's friends, that's good. Any questions about this afternoon's lesson, guys? The flam taps and eighth note triplets, the flam paradiddles, single and double, the flam EQ. Reboot your computer, Stacy. Dennis, hello. Paul, you can see me and hear me. Dennis can see me and hear me. Stacy, reboot your computer. YouTube, I don't know about you guys. All right, everybody else is okay. Stacy's the only one. All right. That's why it's on a phone. You got to get a computer. You need to get a computer, Stacy. Get on your computer. Okay. Waiting on Jim and a few other people. Any questions about the flam tap and eighth note triplets, the flam accent, the Swiss Army triplet, the diddles, the flamadiddles? Any questions? Flamacue, you have the Buddy Rich book, Dennis? All right, the way, hold on. You have a question, you understand it, the Flamacue? That's where we left off. Okay. Now the way it's presented by Mr. Adler, okay? All right, if you have the Buddy Rich book, that's page 42. Okay, page 42, everybody, the Buddy Rich book. Flamacue, 6/8, 6 beats to a measure. Each eighth note gets one count or one beat. 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a measure, 6 eighth notes, and I counted in 6. Now, the way he presents it here is in 6/8. You're playing up to 5, you're resting on 6. How you doing, Jim? Okay. Now, the first note in the Flamacue, he starts it with the right hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down with the flam. It's an alternating flam, and you come up in the full stroke position. 2 is a downstroke accent. 3 is an upstroke. 4 is a tap, and now 5 is an alternate flam. So now I'm in position to alternate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we all see that? Want me to slow it down? A flamming cue you can use any place you want, but it's most common in a march. You hear that? And 1 and 2 and 3 and... You understand, okay, Dennis? Anybody else have any questions on the flamming cue? Jimmy, you have it. Dennis has it. How about you, Robert? All right, let's move on. Now, the next one, the language here is absurd. A half drag. There's really no such animal. I don't know why it's in there, but it's a duple and a quarter note. It's like if you did a flam, remember you have the king note or the principal note? A half drag, supposedly according to him, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's not really nothing, He calls it a half drag. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a drag. Do we understand that? Okay. Can you see us, Stacy? Can you hear us? And so the half drag, there's no such animal. It's just a drag. It's a duple close together. 2 grace notes. The way I count that, if I do it in slow motion in 4/4, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what he's presenting. Then he goes down to the bottom of the page called a single drag. Did the 1, 2. It's a single drag. Now remember how we count the 2 little grace notes? Okay, the 2 grace notes are counted. Did the 1, 2. Did the 3, 4. Did the 1, 2. Now I'm being very mechanical. Then he gives you another possibility as 8th notes. The 1 and the 2 and... Okay, and then he gives you the actual notation. This is cool, I like this. That is a single drag. Now if you see that, that's on page 45, the second measure. You see dotted 16th notes. 1 the and, 1 the and, the 2 the and is the figure without the grace note. 1 the and, the 2 the and. Now he puts the grace note just before he goes 1 the and. It's kind of not cool to teach that here, but that's okay. Let's go over to the drag paradiddles. We'll skip that for a while. All right, the drag paradiddles, page 46. Now you learned a single paradiddle with the levels, down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap. You also learned the flam paradiddles, down, up, tap, tap, down, up, tap, tap. Now here, the upstroke is going to fall in a different place. So I'm going to have the 2 grace notes, did the 1. did the 1. See it? Did the 1, 2, 3, 4. Did the 1, 2, 3, 4. Did the 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Everybody following? It's a paradiddle with 2 grace notes in front of it. Did the down, up, tap, tap. Did the 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we see that? Everybody, do we see that? All right. It's a nice rudiment. Where you use it, it's up to you. It's most common in marches. And then you have the single paradiddle. Then you have the flam paradiddle. And now you have the drag paradiddle. The single drag paradiddle. Did we do the 3-stroke rough single paradiddle? You get it, Dennis? You see it? You got it, Jimmy? Now, did we do the 3-stroke rough single paradiddle? Obviously, before we can do the 3-stroke rough paradiddle, you need to practice the 3-stroke rough. All right, as 2 grace notes in a quarter note. Did the 1, did the 2. Do we see that, gentlemen? That's the 3-stroke rough single 3-stroke rough. Then you want the paradiddle. The only thing that changes with the 3-stroke rough is the level where it's placed. It's did the 1. So your level's inside the grace note. Did the 1, 2, 3, 4. Did the 1. See that? 3, 4. Did the 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it, guys? I feel like back in the drum corps here. So now you have the regular paradiddle, the single paradiddle, flam paradiddle, this drag paradiddle, single drag paradiddle, and now you have the 3-stroke rough, single paradiddle. The only difference with that 3-stroke rough, the 2 grace notes, the upstroke is inside the grace notes. Did the 1. See it? I'm coming up pretty high just to exaggerate it. All right, I'm not getting any response. I guess it's because there's such a delay. So, that takes care of the paradiddle, the single paradiddle. And then we have a 4-stroke rough single paradiddle. I don't know if you want to do that one tonight, but you have to get the grace note pattern down very well. If you remember the 4-stroke rough, we learned it in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the movement for the 4-stroke rough. But the actual true 4-stroke rough will be the 3 grace notes in front of the quarter note. And if you remember to count, diddly 1. Do we understand that one? What does sound the same? The drag in a 3-stroke rough? Is that what you're talking about? That's the 3-stroke rough. If I play it faster, they don't all sound the same. There's a slight difference, Dennis. No, they basically sound the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. It depends on how close I play the grace notes. Open. See it? Now close. It's a drag. Drag, up, tap, tap, drag, up, tap, tap. Now the 3-stroke rough is alternating strokes. D1. Okay. Double paradiddle. All right, the 4-stroke rough paradiddle is tough. You need to understand the 4-stroke rough with the 3 grace notes and the quarter note. Did the 1, yeah, did the dangabunga, did the diddly 1. You guys having any problems with the 3 grace notes in the quarter? It's diddly 1, diddly 2. You want to bring those grace notes as close to the quarter note as possible. I open it up, diddly 1. Then you play the 4-stroke rough single paradiddle. Diddly 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, diddly 1. Diddly 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's a toughie. What drumstick tricks? I don't understand that. There's no trick there. I'm going diddly 1. That's 4-stroke rough. Then I'm playing this 4-stroke rough single paradiddle. The upstroke is going to be inside. It's going to be actually inside the 4-stroke rough. Diddly 1, 2, 3, 4. Diddly 1, 2, 3, 4. Diddly 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now the trick to this guy, come on computer, what's wrong? All right. If by any chance we get booted, give me 5 minutes to come back. Now, the 4-stroke rough there, what is more confusing is the hand you end with is the hand you begin with. For example, if I do the 4-stroke rough to the right paradiddle, right, left, right, right, I end it with the right. So my 4-stroke rough is going to start with my right hand. Okay? That's not a trick, it's just, that's how it works. And now we go to the double paradiddle. Again, we have the flam double, we have the double paradiddle by itself, the flam double paradiddle, only one accent I'm teaching, the 3-stroke rough double paradiddle, the 4-stroke rough the double paradiddle. It gets a little bit in there. I mean, I don't know when I use these and how I use them. I just use them when I hear it. But it's part of the language. You need to understand it. I don't see Robert. Where's Robert? Oh, you got it. There you are, Robert. Hoist, do you understand it? Hoist, did you, what you call it? Do you need I don't know, you were supposed to get in touch with somebody on Hudson Music or see If you can get the book or whatever. See, Hudson Music now is associated with Alfred and Hal Leonard. So you can get it through my site if you remember. Drumstick tricks. Nose tricks, Jimmy. All right, I don't want to really get into, there's a lot here. You got to practice. You know, the 4-stroke rough, the 3-stroke rough, the drag, double paradiddle. All right, there's a lot. So, you know, stay with the single paradiddle for a while and the flamicue. So work your single paradiddle, work your flam paradiddle, work your drag paradiddle and your 3-stroke rough paradiddle. Work with them. That's going to take you a while. This doesn't happen in one session. You got to sit there and you got to practice and practice and practice. Repetition. Make sure that your hands are correct. Make sure that the levels are in place. Now, I insist upon the levels being in place, not because that's my law, but if you keep the levels in place, it makes the whole thing smooth and sounds correct. This is the basic foundation. I mean, if I could put 10 accents in there, you know, we're talking about a whole different animal. Can you guys get into the chat and tell me what you're doing? Jimmy, put the saxophone down. Stacy, after the lesson, I'd like to Skype with you. Is that okay, Stacy? The drag and rough paradiddles. Okay. You understand it, Dennis? All right, this is driving me crazy, the snare drum thing, but it's essential. It's part of the language. And this thing with hertas, you know, I don't know what the heck they call hertas for. It's just, to me, like I said, there's 3 rudiments and they call it a herta. Well, if you're in 6/8 and you want to play hertas, it's only a 3-stroke rough. All right, I will send it, I will Skype you, okay? We'll talk a little bit. I need to talk to you. All right, Seth is not here. But Jimmy, Stacy's in for the last weekend. Good, Robert, good for you. Well, it's not that they stand. I mean, if you're marching, you're standing. You know, so they don't want to sit there and do a video with a sling and a drum. That's heavy. So, yeah, they're standing when they're playing the snare drum. And also classical musicians, the classical drummers, they stand and play. I'm too lazy to stand. My legs hurt. So it's nothing that you notice. That's what they do. That's the paradiddle. That's the trip. What is that? The single flam paradiddle. All right, paradiddle diddle. Is that what paradiddle? I forget the names of all these things are coming into my head. Paratriplet. Is that what you want, Dennis? I don't have the page in front of me. I did quarter notes, eighth notes, and triplets and 16th notes. That's what I did. Is that what you? All right, let's do it again. It's simple, without accents. Okay, first let's do that. Let's enter this so you understand it a little bit better. If I'm playing eighth note triplets, I have 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Simple alternating triplets. Now, what I'm doing with the triplet is now I'm changing the sticking pattern to a diddle. All right, so I have 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 Do that for a while. Feel the difference between alternating strokes and the paradiddle. Now, if you want to just enter the para triplet, and if you're not familiar with it and you think you're having a problem with it, no bass drum first, nice and slow. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. I maintain the count. I hit the accents on the first stroke of the paradiddle. I change the sticking. It's not, you got to get used to it. When you're used to just playing paradiddles like one-sided, the para triplet becomes, not difficult, but unusual. It's not permutating accents, Dennis. Get the term permutating accents. Different, okay? When you permutate, you move over one. We're not moving anything. We're playing a paradiddle with an accent on the first stroke of the paradiddle. But we're thinking, instead of one ienda, two ienda, we're thinking eighth note triplets. Here's a good exercise. You want to get into this is thank you for asking all these questions. I appreciate it. We go back to Mr. George Lawrence Stone's stick control book. Drink some water here. This will take your mindset right into it. Okay? Line 1. Stick control. Stick control, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now, I'm thinking eighth notes. However, I can think alternating strokes as that's triplets. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm thinking of line 1 in eighth note triplet formation, where it comes into view as if you do line 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You see what I'm doing there, Dennis? Absolutely. You have the sheet, Paul. I send it to you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's a 3 against 4 feel. The accent's the 3, the bass drum is the 4. That's what's throwing everybody off. So here, Dennis, do line 3. Forget about 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for a minute. You're doing double sticking. You're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm actually taking line 3 and thinking of it as triplets. I could do the same thing with line 4 or any of the other lines. So if I went to line 5, there's your para triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But now, don't forget, if you're going to do that, from the stick control book referencing, there are no accents on that. Understand it? Okay, that's enough rudiments for tonight. Anyway, did you guys having any fun? Well, you could do that, but I would do it like this, Paul. Do 4 measures of the para triplet, because when you do only one measure, if you start with the right hand, the next measure is going to start with the left hand. So do 4 measures of that and play 4 measures at a jazz time. Then back to the para triplet. But see, you're there, and Dennis is having difficulty doing the mindset here, I believe. but I'm trying to help him. Okay? You're not wrong, Paul. If it works for you, go with it. You see it, Dennis? Yeah, it's loads of fun. It's loads of work. Ha! You got to change that mindset. Anybody here having any difficulty just hanging out with 5-4? Mr. Joe's ostinato. How we making out with that? We all got it, right? How about the 5-4? You guys want to hang out with the 5-4 for a little bit? Or 3-4? Or 9-8? Or 11-16? Ha! That's insane. Okay. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll tell you, man, I feel in a good mood. Oh, you want to do the 5-4? No problem. I feel in much better mood today than I did yesterday. The way I felt yesterday, I never felt before. I had no motivation, no passion. I was just like, you know. No, your head shouldn't spin. That's because in 5-4, Paul, that's because you're pushing it too much. Be simple and build. That's the. There you go, we're back. Now the stream's not, for some reason, man, it's been happening. I don't know why. We're back. What's going on? The same thing happened this afternoon. I don't know why. It just stopped. Now it's buffering. It's back. Yeah, I'm back. Now, when you do 5-4, it's simple. Okay? You're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not thinking any melodic line like boo-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee, boom boom, boom boom. We're not thinking that yet. We're learning the math and the mechanical of 5-4. So before you can stretch out on 5-4, you need to play quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with the quarter notes, you play the ostinato pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you feel good with that. Do eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 1. So on and so forth, or build on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a figure and go over and over and over again. You feeling comfortable? 1, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Just have fun with it. Okay, just relax. Play 16th notes. Like you're doing single, you're practicing singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. It's an odd feel. That's an odd time signature. It's not going to happen when you're playing in 4/4 all your life. You know, you'd say, all right, let me play in 5/4. There's that additional beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2. I'm just playing a funk pattern in 5/4. You got to grab hold of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see what I did with the 5/4 as a funk pattern? I'm not playing an ostinato pattern, I'm just playing in 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1, 2. Three, 4, 5. Yeah, but see, who's that? Scott, who's that? Velardo? When did you get here, man? I mean, I'm just about done. You play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's some subdividing you could do. One measure or 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2. And you get funky, man. You just have a good time without breaking the momentum or the pattern. We're not playing an ostinato. What is Scott Volaro? There's my email. What you need to do is email me . All right, what you need to do is email me, and what I'll do is I'll put you on my mailing list, and I will send you the time and location of each lesson. So far, I haven't been sending out any email for the time and location because they're all the same. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1 p.m. and at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's every 4 days I do it. I'm not streaming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, I work out of the Stick Control book, the Syncopation book, all of Gary Shafee's books, Master Studies, my books, and we've been approaching Mike Clark's new publication. All right, well, I'm sorry that you're late, but I've been here now almost 45 minutes, and I'm only allotted so much time on YouTube to do this. I've been keeping my site incognito for now, but within the next month or two, we're going to go back to my site for the 7 p.m. lessons. But that's okay. This is free. Because of your own lesson. You teach, Scott? And where are you from? So it's always nice to have somebody like a drum teacher come and visit me, or, because, you have a certain approach and I have a certain approach. But at the end of the day, it's all good. There's there's just such a delay. But if you want, you can come back tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m., or tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Tomorrow's Wednesday, I think, correct? And then one more day of it. Hey, Jim, or guys, listen, I haven't finished the syncopation formulas yet. Do you know I got 6 pre-order payments? Unreal. I haven't even finished the book. Speaking of books, stick control formulas, the workbook, and soon to be released, the syncopation formulas and the rudimental breakdown with the levels. So if anybody is interested, contact me. Cleveland, all right. Yeah, well, that's a good place to be, Scott. When I first start teaching, I was teaching little kids, and I still do. And they're actually easier to teach because they haven't developed any bad habits. As long as you lead them in the right direction and give them all the right information and have them be creative and, keep their passion going, you got it made. I don't know if you're familiar with the level system or not, but then we talk about YouTube, and on YouTube there is some really good videos. Out of 100%, I'd say 10%. The other 90%, everybody wants to be the greatest teacher in the world, and they have a problem. They're teaching bad habits. There's no right or wrong when it comes to music, as long as you maintain the rules. And when you're doing technique, okay, as long as you maintain the laws of physics and stay relaxed, and once you develop that technique, is to be musical and apply it to the music, because you can sit here and practice a single paradiddle until for 90 years, and it's not, you're doing good with the single paradiddle, but what's the sense if you can't apply it musically or understand the language? Oh, you're welcome. All right, I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Scott, email me, man. And if you're on Skype, we'll contact and talk a little bit. Stacy, I will be calling you in a few minutes. I'm going to need to get a cigarette first. Okay? Hey.